cruise ships. That's the subject of this podcast, and what they've done in the past and how technology has advanced them to become eco-friendly maidens on the sea. Let's take a look and see what's going on with cruise ships. The sinister actions of Princess Cruise Lines sent shockwaves through the marine world in 2016 as their heinous deeds were exposed. The veil of innocence was torn asunder, and they pleaded guilty to not one but 7 felony charges for their erroneous acts of illegal dumping oiled waste into the pristine sea. Well, I don't know if it was pristine, but the consequences were severe, as the New York Times reported. With the heavy hand of justice, a $40 million fine was put upon them, a somber reminder of the price to be paid for such wanton disregard for the environment. Now, for this, I do wonder if that $40 million was spent on cleaning up the oceans. However, the echoes of environmental transgressions continued to reverberate across the seas, revealing the depths of humanity's callousness. In 2019, the weight of retribution fell on Carnival Cruise Lines as a federal judge rendered a damning verdict for their sins. NPR revealed, including the despicable act of casting plastic waste into an unforgiving ocean. Such actions are not taken lightly, as the judge decreed a penalty of $20 million, a stern admission against their wanton disregard for environmental relations. These tales of corporate maleficence, woven into the fabric of our modern marine history, serve as chilling reminders of the urgent need for greater accountability. As the oceans bear witness to these transgressions, it becomes evident that the pursuit of profit must not come at the expense of our precious natural world. Let these cautionary tales stand as a rallying cry for vigilance and a resolute commitment to protect the vulnerable ecosystems that lie in the path of our mighty ships. So let's take a look at what cruise ships have done to improve this. So the Princess Cruises is a company now that truly understands the environmental sustainability, particularly when it comes to the oceans that we depend on. Their commitment now to excellence and responsibility sets a high standard now for cruise industries and helps preserve the fragile marine environment. With over 25,000 employees calling the ocean their home, Princess Cruises recognizes the vital role that the marine environment plays in their environment. They work closely with regulatory enforcement organizations now, ensuring that their environmental policies not only meet but often exceed the strict requirements set forth by international and regional governing bodies, such as International Maritime Organization, known as the IMO. Princess Cruises now goes above and beyond in meeting environmental requirements, continuously striving to raise their level of environmental performance. They have implemented a holistic environmental program called Planet Princess that inspires and encourages crew members and guests to become responsible stewards for the environment and the oceans. A key aspect of Princess Cruise' environmental efforts lies in the investment in pollution prevention technology. Their ships are built to high environmental standards now, incorporating advanced equipment that minimizes or prevents pollution. Millions of dollars have been dedicated to ensuring that their fleets operate in an environmentally responsible manner. One notable achievement of their pioneering use of shore power, Princess Cruises has the first in the industry to implement shoreline power connections in ports, allowing their ships to turn off their diesel engines and connect to a power supply in order to significantly reduce emissions. It would be lovely if those power supplies were also solar. And why don't they have solar on the sides of the ships and on the top where the space? Why not? Maybe it's coming. By prioritizing such technical advancements as plugging their ship in, Princess Cruises demonstrates their commitment to the health of the marine environment and their dedication to future generations. Princess Cruises also adapts to changing regulations by utilizing cleaner marine fuels and investing in advanced air quality systems technology, also known as exhaust gas cleaning systems. Now, that sounds good. This investment not only ensures compliance with sulfur content restrictions, but also contributes to lowering their environmental impact. They are committed to going beyond their technical innovations. Their crew members play crucial roles in the success of their environmental management program. They receive extensive training on equipment uses and environmental awareness, ensuring that they are well equipped to minimize their environmental footprint. Strict disciplinary procedures are in place to enforce compliance with regulatory, further emphasizing their dedication to responsible practices. Now, water usage is a significant focus for them. They actively encourage guests and crew to conserve water through various measures, such as turning off taps when they're not in use, reusing towels and linens. Furthermore, their waste treatment systems exceed regulatory requirements for discharge of grey water and black water, demonstrating their commitment to protecting the marine environment. In wastewater management, Princess Cruises takes comprehensive measures to minimize the use of plastics and promote recycling. They diligently sort and separate waste on board their ships, ensuring proper recycling, incineration, or storage for appropriate disposal on land. They adhere to international regulations for the disposal of food waste and have implemented hazardous waste procedures to handle, label, and offload waste products responsibly. They are now dedicated to environmental sustainability. It is reinforced by their commitment to auditing, inspections, and continuous improvement. Their ships undergo regular audits by professional mariners to assess and enhance safety and environmental standards. By collaborating with regulatory bodies and industry partners, Princess Cruises remains at the forefront of environmental stewardship in the cruise industry. From an environmental sustainability standpoint, their efforts to protect the oceans and preserve the marine environment are now commendable. Their investment in pollution prevention technology, commitment to responsible water usage, meticulous wastewater management practices, and protective approach to regulatory compliance demonstrate they are now genuinely committed to environmental sustainability by setting high standards for the cruise industry. They inspire others to follow suit, ensuring a more sustainable future for the oceans and the planet as a whole. Now, what have the Carnival Cruise Lines done? So they have a ship called Symphony of the Seas, which has been working on its environmental sustainability in the realm of wastewater. For example, the Symphony of the Seas is a colossal marvel. Not only enchants passengers with its grandeur and luxury, but also seeks to set an environmental standard. Amidst its opulence and architectural wonder, it embraces sustainable practices, particularly in waste management and water conservation. Let's delve a little bit into how they do this. So the waste management, the ship has a harmonious approach to waste management through a well-choreographed system of recycling, incineration, and waste production. It endeavors to minimize its environmental footprint. It has implemented comprehensive waste statutory programs ensuring recyclables are properly sorted and processed. Additionally, advanced incineration systems are employed to dispose of non-recyclable waste safely, mitigating potential environmental harm. I'm not sure how they incinerate it to be less harmful. They recognize the menace of single-use plastics. Symphony of the Seas takes a firm stance against their presence. In straws and stirrers and plastic water bottles, they've been replaced with sustainable alternatives such as paper-based options and reusable bottles. This conscious shift towards eco-friendly alternatives aims to protect marine life and preserve the pristine oceans, if you don't count all the plastic floating in them, that this majestic vessel traverses. Water conservation, advanced technologies, that best practices are employed to minimize water consumption throughout the ship. Water-efficient fixtures and sensors ensure that water consumption throughout the ship has dropped significantly, from innovative laundry systems that optimizes water usage on board, distillation plants that transform seawater into potable water. The ship's commitment to preserving this precious resource is a testament to the dedication of sustainability. The Symphony of the Seas embraces a virtuoso performance in wastewater management. Advanced onboard treatment systems transform wastewater into clean, purified water, meeting stringent international standards. These systems utilize cutting-edge filtration and disinfectant techniques to ensure that no harmful substances are released back into the ocean. This approach safeguards marine ecosystems and preserves the pristine beauty of the seas. So it looks like both of those cruise lines are making great efforts in reducing their impact on the ecosystems. So thank goodness for that. And finally, you could almost now take a guilt-free cruise. But there's one more ship I would like to mention, and this one is called the Seaside, which I believe now is even bigger than the Symphony of the Seas, although I'm not sure. It can take 6,000 passengers and has something like 39 swimming pools. And all the water that is used through the ship is extracted from the ocean by pumps in a harmless manner. It is desalinized and used for everything, I believe, except drinking, which I believe they bring in glass bottled water, and the glass bottles are sorted and recycled. All the waste, all the garbage, people actually open up the garbage bags and go through every single item and put it in the right recycling. Everything is like hay bundled and squished into piles, and the money that from any recyclable bottles and things that is made that way goes into the retirement fund, which is nice for the workers, that is. They have amazing sophisticated systems for doing the laundry. They deal with huge amounts, and it can be dealt with in an hour using enormous machines and many people. All food waste is ground up and then, in places where it's allowed, is expelled from the ship, and they call that fish food. Not sure what effect that has on ecosystems in introducing all this waste. Does it make more algae? Don't know. As for human waste, the solids and the liquids are separated. The liquid is then recycled and I believe used for cooling the engines, and any excess is expelled, but it has been purified to a point where it's okay to go back in the ocean. And the solid waste, I believe, is then pumped into tankers, which take it away, and I am not sure what happens to it after that. So cruise ships have contributed significantly to the problem in the oceans. Just think how many of them are out there, and hopefully none of them now are making an environmentally negative impact. Let's hope that now cruise ships are all of them, there's thousands of them, making a significant strive towards being environmentally responsible. Virtual fist bump, you got to the end of another episode. Thank you so much for taking the time to listen. If you like what you hear, give us a follow so you know when new episodes are released. And you can also head to greentechgossip.com for more information about what you hear on these podcasts. Thank you so much, and goodbye, y'all.